sending Ralphie to loser's bracket.
Yeah, so they're getting that salty run back right now. We'll see how it is, if we're going to get an extra set or not. But, you know, I'm excited to see these guys play. I think the first set they had was airtight as well. It was a good set, so we'll see how this one pans out.
So very much the same setup that we saw last time. Cloud to each side, and Ryu and Lucina to their respective teams. Now, we've seen how well Jen and Ralphie can pilot around different styles, different characters and whatnot, but it seemed like they ran into a wall with Vinnie and Mystery earlier. You think that they could ride this momentum from making the losers run?
I've been saying it all day. You can't sleep on the people and losers. And on top of that, I was saying before, you never know when a team just gets done playing a set, they might be a little more hot. They just got done playing. So you never know. These guys are close in skill. So the fact that they were just playing might benefit them greatly. We'll just have to see. I think if Ryu can hold on to the stocks the way he was in that last set, red team might be in for some trouble. We might get an additional set.
Very real possibility. And being as the sets are just best of 3 for doubles, it's not too difficult a task for blue team to reset the bracket.
This is looking like a Jackie Chan Ryu. This is a black belt if I've ever seen one.
Good. Jen has been doing a really good job with spacing out his back airs, handing off to Ralphie when he can't get the combo himself, and he even manages to break first blood. Now, I think just as important as it is for Jen to hold on to his stocks for blue team, I think much the same could be said for Mr. E with his Lucina.
Yeah. I do think Lucina controls certain parts of the stages better than Ryu, but I think Ryu's just been one holding on to stocks, and he's been getting some nice kills. Shouldn't sleep. It looks like he got done training with Mr. Miyagi not too long ago.
And with the last of the initial stocks finally down, Ralphie doing a fine job of holding on to his where he could.
A little bit of a percent discrepancy, but you know that's nothing you can't overcome.
Right. One thing I'm noticing is that blue team is playing a very heavy single target game. Like, they want to just juggle one person between the two of them, keep the other person out, and close out the stocks where they can. And it's working out for them.
Yeah, no, I think they used that strategy to a T the last set too. They were implementing their gameplay, their game style, and their game plan very well. So if they keep doing it like this, you know, I definitely can see a second set coming their way. They're playing like they want it right now. I know it's tied and pretty close. You got a fresh Cloud on blue side though, so see how that comes into play.
Speaking of, I noticed that Ralphie's trying to hang around and keep to the ditto where he can. And I feel like it's a good approach. It's been working for blue team, but if he can't end up the stocks, that's a very done stock. Forces the share stock on red team's side, and now we have stocks apiece on blue team.
Honestly, though, when you look at red team, you got the fresh Cloud. When you look at blue team, I know you just took a little percentage. You got the fresh Ryu. I would take Ryu in that case almost every time the way he's been holding on to the stocks. Just from the last set and this game as well. He's been playing nice with it. So we'll see how this one goes, but this is looking good for blue team.
Limit charged, bit of percentage, gets us up tilts, turn around short of you, and game one's going to go to Ralphie and Jen.
Yeah, no, that was definitely a solid game right there. You know, red team did knock them into losers, so you can't sleep on the red team right now. They're in the winner side of grands for a reason. You know, they could easily bounce back, so we'll see how this set goes. But I do think it did help blue team being a little more warmed up. They just got done playing. They were implementing their game plan beautifully in the last set, so I think that came a little bit into play. Looks like we're going right back.
Yeah, sets going to Smashville predominantly can be well expected at this point of the bracket. But also just like the stage works out so well for everyone involved. Like, there's no reason to go to another stage. And if they do, it would most likely be Town and City if I had to take a guess.
And even though blue team came out on top, that game was still, it was close. So, you know, anything a little bit differently, red team could easily take the game. So.
And the first cross slash ends up breaking onto Ralphie. It's, you know, I really like Vinnie's Cloud. It's interesting because he's not a Cloud main like Ralphie is, so he plays much more to Cloud as a function than as just like the character. And because of that, he has a bit of a different approach to what he's doing with the character, but he has like the same end goal. We see it work out well.
I maybe that him being Cloud, like a Cloud main, might come into a factor if they get into kind of like a Cloud on Cloud situation. That might benefit him. He might have just the slightest bit more knowledge of the character or what to do in a situation. This is looking like a close game still. Red team down a little bit, but you know, it's still anyone's game.
Yeah, even though Vinnie's at the ledge, you can't count him out just yet. He's still very early on that last stock phase. And Mystery does have the reserve stock. Given how fresh these are, shouldn't have to come into play too heavily. Very interesting return to the stage from Jen. It worked out.
Not a lot of people do that too. It was a good little switch up. Ooh, that was a beautiful counter though.
Yeah, we've seen Mystery trying to fish around for that on Jen a little bit earlier, but the first time we see it successful, and the reason why he was fishing for it.
Yeah, you hit him with the no you. Flipped it on him. This is looking really close though. This is anyone's game at this point. You got a lot of damage on the board. Ooh. Red team just took it. Blue team's looking good right now, honestly. They might have got sent to losers earlier, but this could easily just go into a game, second set.
Yeah, given the percentages on board, the fact that Mystery had to give up his reserve stock, and the pressure blue team is exerting, we very, very well look at the reset bracket pretty shortly.
We're going to see blue team could pull this off. We got a solo Cloud. Ooh.
And the handoff?
Yeah.
All right. So we're going to be going to the game 3. All right.
No, this is definitely, this set, this game is, I don't even know. If this game was a Pokemon, it'd be unknown. I don't know who's going to win this one. It's been razor close. Like, pretty much all the games they played. Man, I'm just excited to see this one.
So, potentially final game, potentially dawn of a new set. We'll see what happens. Smashville's the setting, and again, I feel like this is sort of the part of the course to go to Smashville over and over. But
even if this goes the second set, I can definitely just see it just keep going Smashville. You know, no one's really changed from it now. No one's gonna really change from it. This is looking close right now. I mean, a little too early to tell who's gonna take this one, but
yeah, it's all about who ends up taking out that first stock, who sets the ball rolling.
Yeah, who's putting that pressure on early.
An air dodge read from Vinnie taking out Ralphie's stock. They're the first ones, but they don't hold that lead for long.
Honestly, too, I think this whole game is coming down to Lucina Ryu, who's holding their stocks just a little bit longer.
Like we've seen multiple times now that Mystery holding the reserve stock is what's really helping out with Vinnie and Mr. E's team comp tonight.
Yeah, no, that's what came through and won them the game last game. You know, Mr. E had that extra stock, and they wound up winning it, pulling it out. So definitely see how this works out for them. But this is looking like a good game. Blue team has control of the stage right now.
Oh, misinput for the Tatsu is not going to be able to kill, but not too bad of an error for blue team.
Lucina's really holding on to that stock. Even that was a great DI with Vinnie's Cloud.
Up air going to get the pickup, though, and is the wow, okay.
And how the turntables have turned.
Just like that, red team looking at a bit of a deficit.
This isn't the first time we saw a red team at a deficit. And look at that, they just brought it right back. So
and that's the nature of the beast when it comes to doubles, is that there's so much at hand that can happen, is that unless it's like a definitive lead, it's subject to change so quickly.
It's like a teenage girl in a horror movie. You're never really safe. Let's see a balloon pop, though. Let's go, boys. There we go.
You got it.
Yeah, you always got to look out for that.
Vinnie trying his hardest to hold on to this platform. He's doing a really good job of it. It's been making returning to the stage difficult for blue team on multiple occasions.
And we see Ryu has a high percentage right now. Ooh. A lot of stuff just happened there. All right, let's see how this pans out. You got a fresh Lucina, a fresh Ryu, and Cloud with a hundo. But this is looking good for red team. They might be able to close out on this tournament. Drinks might be on them tonight, boys.
Remains to be seen, though. It's on the cusp, but Ryu in the 2v1 is not a bad character to hold this, just because he can make use of all that damage he's going to end up accrediting.
He almost hit him with that down air too. That could have been key to turning this one around. But he's just getting pressured right now by Vinnie. And there we go.
Just like that.
Beautiful, beautiful tournament though. Shout outs to all the teams. You know, great performances by